Hey everybody, welcome to ICP United. I'm here today with two fantastic hosts. I've known Aaron for a really long time, and me and Kyle go way, way back. And so they were really gracious, invited me in. Really excited to, dive into all of this.
Hey everybody, welcome back to ICP United. I'm Aaron Biebert, your co-host.
I'm Kyle Stofflet, your other co-host. Massive week in Las Vegas.
What a week. For all of you guys watching today, we're going to kind of walk through the week. It all started on Sunday. We brought a crew of 8 people on from Chicago, and it was like, 21 bags, I think, of gear.
It was a lot. I've never traveled with that much myself, so it was different.
Yeah.
Monday, as we got situated, we ended up at the Miner Mastery Live 2025 with my friend Brad, who was one of the main organizers. Really cool dinner. We got to meet with a lot of Bitcoin miners, which was really, really awesome.
Some of their efforts that are currently going on, like Brad, for instance, he's trying to help small towns where there's like factories that have closed down, kind of use that electrical grid system to do mining. It's cool, like very thoughtful things happening and really thoughtful people there.
They did an awesome job, and everyone was mingling for hours. They had to kick us out. So.
Yeah, it was a great evening and really a wonderful warm up, because Tuesday is when Bitcoin Las Vegas 2025 kicked off, and ooh boy, here we go.
Industry Day was a blast. There was a lot of excitement, obviously, for the first day, which isn't open to the general public. It's for the industry pass goers, but we got to see something cool with Steak and Shake announcing that they've been accepting Bitcoin already. It's really cool to see, and we caught a little clip of one of their beta menu ordering systems.
So we had to poke around on there a little bit.
It had a dollar amount, and I'm just like, is
this gonna happen?
Yeah, where's this food coming from?
And then right after that, we headed over to the Illuminarium for Inscribing Vegas.
Yeah, the official Ordinals conference of the Bitcoin conference.
That's right. And that was the moment where we started seeing all of our friends from around the internet computer ecosystem. It was amazing to see, the Dfinity team was there, Lomesh and Kyle Langham and Emma, and Moritz was there. It was a good group, but probably the pinnacle of that event was the panel.
They were, talking from space, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yan from Xverse, Bob Bodley from ODIN Fun, Sheldon from Omnity, and then we had the founder of BitOmni.
Yeah, and 3 of the 4 projects up on the panel were all ICP related. So
at a Bitcoin, and the 4th was interesting.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Accepting of it.
Yeah,
so.
The Xverse wallet guy was talking very pleasantly about internet computer.
You just want to use that app. So I want to use ODIN. Do I care that it's on ICP? Do I care it's on somewhere built because of some? No, I just want to use that app.
No Bitcoiner on earth would have said that 2 years ago, but yet here we are, man.
Yeah,
this is new times, man. Because the reality is,
I use that app. I want to get the stable coin, and I want to get that credit card, and I want to go buy that coffee, right? I care about that ultimate use case.
That's right.
For every single person, the use case is going to be different. There's going to be people that just hold Bitcoin and never do anything with it, and that's fine. But there's going to be other people that are going to use these things and these assets in many different ways. And so for that, we need to find a very easy way to just get them access. And I think that exposing them to bridging in and out between 15 different chains, it's not going to be the solution. We just have to abstract that. We just need to give you a button. Hey, I want to use this app. Okay, maybe underneath I need a different token. Okay, just bridge, send it there. Do I care? Is it on EVM, ICP, Solana, whatever else is going to come back to Bitcoin later on? I don't really think that matters.
I think that's what we're all believe on this stage.
I think the writing is on the wall. People are starting to understand, if you want to give Bitcoin more function, the internet computer is going to be a natural partner for that. So I was feeling it this year. It really felt like acceptance.
Yan was complimenting the user experience you get from using internet computer. He was backing his boy Bob up.
Later, we got to hang out with Bob, and man, it was a great conversation.
Building on ICP, a lot of people are asking us why? Why did you pick ICP?
That's a good question.
ICP is really great cross-chain tech. It has the threshold signing. I call it the trifecta of threshold signing: ECDSA, EDDSA, and Schnorr. Yep. And so because you can do that, that's 99% coverage of blockchain. So you can integrate any blockchain you want.
Yep.
These threshold signing subnets are like built into the protocol itself. So it's like, audited, secure code. We don't have to touch that at all. And so, any runes that come into the platform, any Bitcoin that comes in, it's secured by these threshold signing setups. So that's really nice. And then we can do, HTTP calls directly from smart contracts. And so it just kind of made sense for us to, leverage these tools because it was just, it had all of the pieces we needed to craft like this ideal, blazingly fast user experience for ODIN Fund.
I recall Amazon, where it was like 5 or 6 steps when they first, came out, do a purchase. They introduced one-click buy.
Yep.
ODIN Fund, one-click buy or 1,000 clicks buying. Like it's a great user experience, and that's what people need. They need more of those. So like, hats off. Yeah.
I think ODIN Fund is a really great example of like the user experience that's possible. And we're 4 months in. I mean, we launched 4 months ago, and tons of things in the pipeline and lots of work to do. And so I'm really excited about the future.
Yeah, no, it looks great. That was a good time hanging out with Bob. Always good to see him.
Yeah, and he really came with the energy on the
Yes,
info. Loved it.
perfect warm up for Wednesday.
Wednesday at the Bitcoin conference, the big opening day for the general public.
That's probably the big one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. JD Vance was speaking that morning. Over 30,000 people in attendance. Streets blocked off leading into it.
Yeah.
Like kind of
Felt big.
madness.
Yeah, it was full madness. But once we got in, it was really cool. We got to check out, go inside some mining equipment, check out some of the different artwork that ordinals that were on Bitcoin. And
We did a race with Chris Yost.
yes, Chris, one of our ambassadors. We did a 3-way race. I thought I was gonna be okay, but I hit the wall literally and figuratively in the middle of it, and I think you beat me.
I just turned into like blazingly fast Bitcoin over there and started.
Yeah, you were like Bitcoin on ICP. Like it was good. You were like Spider-Man. I loved it. I need to work out more.
It was fun. I enjoyed it, and the fact that Bitcoin Magazine adds in all these different elements to their conference, like, really stands out. Honestly, why it becomes like my favorite conference of the year.
Yeah,
So, like,
it's not my favorite conference of the year too. So yeah, and then after that, went over to Liquidium booth and hung out with the boys.
a great time connecting with them at the booth, and then Robin had an announcement on stage. It was really cool, and we got to hang out with them after.
A new product, which is cross-chain nodes. And it was great fun revealing that. We had a keynote at the Bitcoin conference, and the reception so far has been great.
Yeah, I've been hearing so many people buzzing about this. This could be extremely game-changing for the entire Web3 world. Now there's a new era beginning. Which chains are you going to start with?
Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So Solana will be the third chain that we're adding. And basically the entire idea is that you can use your native Bitcoin that you can supply, you can earn interest on your Bitcoin, and then also at the same time use that supplied Bitcoin as collateral to borrow stable coins or other assets on Ethereum against that. So for example, if you have some Bitcoin and you don't want to sell it, you can just supply it on Liquidium, borrow USDT or USDC against it, and then kind of spend that and repay that loan whenever you want to.
Yeah, that's going to be, that's fantastic.
We had one constraint in that peer-to-peer lending product where the lender creates a loan offer, the borrower accepts that offer, and then the lender has to come back to the platform and countersign it. So that's basically where we try to find a solution for the longest time, because our philosophy is kind of like, how can we create the best user experience? And we didn't want that friction point. So that's how we discovered ICP, specifically the chain fusion part of ICP, which kind of allows us to build a smart contract on ICP, but still letting the user only interact with native Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So building like a native Bitcoin canister on ICP and then letting the users deal with Bitcoin. I like to compare it to traditional web applications. So in traditional web applications, you have a front end, which is what the user interacts with. It's really all they can see. It's where they click the buttons and get the feedback. You also have a backend, and the backend is sitting in the background, computing all of the logic, orchestrating everything, and then bringing it back to the front end where the user interacts with it. We believe that the future of blockchain is very similar, where you have something like front-end blockchains, which are the front, like the user-facing blockchains that the users deal with. And then you have sort of a layer below that, which in our case is ICP. So the way it works with Liquidium is the user is interacting with Bitcoin. They use a Bitcoin native wallet. In the background, kind of like the back-end blockchain is ICP, which computes the logic, orchestrates everything, and ultimately lets the transaction execute on Bitcoin again. And we can do the same thing with Ethereum, with Solana. Basically now with cross-chain loans, it's the same thing where the user only interacts with the front-end chains, which is Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. And in the background, you have one back-end, which is ICP, which orchestrates everything and then brings it back to the native chains.
Yeah, that's the magic.
It was great to hang out with Robin
Yes.
and the Liquidium team. Very cool guys.
Yeah, people need to definitely pay attention to what Liquidium is doing. I mean, this is some game-changing stuff. And we got to, immediately right after that, we got to go over to Bitcoin Beach to celebrate. It was a wild time.
That was at Mike Tyson's old Tiger Mansion.
Yeah.
Super hot day. Everyone was enjoying the pool.
It was definitely a
pina
party.
coladas, all of that.
ICP Coladas made it. They were in there. There was Internet Computer Floaty. One of them joined us here today. There was lots of good signage and a lot of good conversations. And as people were drinking, the more ICP Pina Coladas people were drinking, the more they were opening up about them using Internet Computer behind the scenes. A lot of Bitcoin builders are coming around to the idea.
Yeah, a few that were totally unexpected that just
Yes.
super supportive of it and thought, whoa, what's going on in the internet computer is really cool. So
Yeah, that's enabling a whole new world for Bitcoin. And we got some interviews with a lot of different community members that we'll be sharing down the road. So people should definitely stay tuned to the ICP Hub United States. But yeah, it was really cool to bring people together. For a lot of people, that was the first time they'd met in person. So yeah, a lot of people celebrating that. Lots of good food, lots of good music. At the end, when we got to sit around the pool and just relax for a little bit, I think that was our first real relaxation for the whole trip.
yeah, I mean, we were basically working like 16, 18-hour days.
It was pretty crazy, but man, that pool was nice.
It was nice to have the team together and just kind of hang out for a little bit before we got into our next busy day.
Thursday. One of the main reasons we went to Las Vegas was to amplify the voices of people who are building on the internet computer and Bitcoin and kind of help elevate those guys. And so Thursday was really focused on interviews. I mean, people were coming back and forth from the show, which was at the resort next door. And we had this studio set up on the 57th floor overlooking the strip in the Encore Tower. And
It was a fun spot, and like pretty much everyone said this was a favorite spot to come and hang out, and it was great to learn more about what all the builders are up to, what do they have coming out next. And
yeah, and people from all over the world. I think it was at least 4 continents that people had traveled to do these interviews with us.
Yeah.
It felt amazing.
glad to be a part of it and be able to help.
We were truly ICP United.
One of the last hangouts we had was with Sheldon from Omnity, and we got to hear a lot more about what they're doing because it's really impressive
Yeah, it
stuff.
was huge. We talked a lot about Ruins Exchange environment, that you guys have enabled a lot of really cool things. What else do you have kind of going on in that space? Because I'm always like looking for what's next.
Well, we know the runes market is not very big. Like when I spoke with Robinhood and some other institutions at the Bitcoin conference, it came with the disclaimer like, hey, I get it's not the biggest market. It may not be drawing you in, but it's growing. I think that if you look at the runes and ordinals market right next to each other, ordinals must be like more than 10x different than runes. It's, it's difficult to make that judgment one for one because it's, sort of art and non-fungibles versus a network of fungibles.
Right.
But at the same time, there has been a desire to commingle these things a little bit more. We are going to be launching before the end of the year, probably Q3, a fractionalization product for ordinals.
Oh.
And I'm really excited about that because the main problems before in fractionalization were portability, UX, and speed of result that you would get. If I have to take 3 transactions after I fractionalize something to profit on it, I'm spending so much money to get into that double risk on position, like maybe that's not worth it for me. Right. But if you took an ordinal and locked it up in your own contract on the Bitcoin L1, you could instantly trade it as runes in RichSwap.
Sheldon had a lot of really important things to say, and Omnity, I think that's like a sleeper project that while they're building infrastructure that so many projects are using, not everybody has really heard of them yet. Follow Sheldon, he's cool. He's out there doing that work every day.
Super knowledgeable, understands both sides of being a dev and being out there and being involved with the community.
Yeah.
So.
Make sure you're following us, ICP Hub United States, because we've got a lot more interviews. I mean, we only touched on a couple of the things that happened this week.
Before we wrap up, we'll leave you with one last message from our friend Lomesh at Definity.
In this case, I really hope that whatever happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas.